They used to whisper his name in the back alleys like a curse. Hanjun Park, the beast who stood alone against an entire gang empire and lived to tell the tale. The high schooler who made grown men check over their shoulders. That was 2 years ago. Now he sits in silence as Mogul's fist connects with his skull again and again. The desk rattles. His classmates avert their eyes. No one intervenes. No one dares to even breathe too loudly. But not because they fear Park anymore. They fear what he's become. A promise. A sacred vow made to a father who lost everything because of his son's violence. Never again, he'd sworn. Watching his father's gym, his father's dream sold off piece by piece to pay for a lawsuit filed by the very gangsters Park had defeated. The bitter irony wasn't lost on him. In Korea, the strong don't always win, the rich do. So the tiger learned to bare its throat. The monster learned to bleed quietly. You broke now, Park? Mogul's voice drips with venom as he slams Park's head into the desk one more time. Can't even afford a lawyer if I beat you half to death, can you? What are you gonna do? Call the cops with empty pockets? The wood creaks. Park's fingers curl slowly into fists beneath the desk, knuckles white with restraint. Every fiber in his body screams for release. Every instant howls for blood. But he sees his father's face, the disappointment, the exhaustion, the way those kind eyes looked when signing away 20 years of work. So he says nothing. He takes it. He survives. The night air tastes like copper and regret. Park limps through an alley, blood trickling from a fresh wound above his eye. 3 guys this time. Wannabe tough guys who recognized the legendary name and wanted to see if the myth was just a fraud. They got their answer when Park grabbed one's foot mid-kick, his eyes flashing with something ancient and terrible. Then he let go, apologized, took the beating. The wood splinters against his face. Then again, he doesn't fight back, can't fight back, won't fight back. When they finally leave, bored by prey that won't run or roar, Park collapses against a grimy wall, tasting defeat more bitter than the blood in his mouth. Interesting performance. The voice cuts through the darkness like a blade. Park's head snaps up. A man in an expensive suit stands at the alley's entrance, illuminated by the single flickering streetlight. He's young, impossibly young to radiate such cold confidence. Money hangs on him like armor. The watch, the shoes, the way he stands like he owns not just the alley, but the entire neighborhood. What are you trying to pull, Park? The man steps closer, and Park notices the leather bag in his hand. Playing the martyr? Scared of another settlement? Who? The bag hits the ground with a heavy thud. It falls open. Cash. Stacks of it. More money than Park's seen since before everything fell apart. More money than his father made in a year at that gym. The bills seem to glow in the dim light. Each one a whispered promise. A doorway back to who he used to be. Enough for a lawyer, the stranger says, his smile sharp as broken glass. Enough to cover any consequences. Or he pauses, letting the word hang like a noose. You could handle those 3 yourself, right now. I'd give you 4 minutes, but honestly, I think you only need 4 seconds. Park stares at the money. His father's face flashes through his mind. The guilt, the shame, the promise. Then Mogul's sneer, the daily humiliation. The way strength means nothing when you're broke. The way the world kicks you when you're down and calls it tustus. Who are you? Park's voice is barely a whisper. Someone who wants to watch Chansu Kim's empire burn. The stranger's smile widens. Someone willing to bankroll your resurrection. Every expense, every fight, every lawsuit. I'll even get your father's gym back. The words strike harder than any punch Park's taken that night. All I need, the man continues, are those fists of yours. That beautiful violence you've been suffocating. That monster you've been starving. He tilts his head. So what do you say, Park? Ready to stop being prey? Behind them, drunken laughter echoes. The 3 thugs are back, drawn by the sight of cash like sharks to blood. The bald one who broke wood across Park's face grins as he approaches. Well, well, looks like the punching bag found some Park-sized shift. Just for a moment, just one heartbeat. But in that glance, something changes. The stranger sees it. The thug sees it. Even the shadows seem to recoil. The tiger remembers how to bare its teeth. How long? Park asks quietly. Sorry? Park stands, his battered body unfolding like a death sentence. Blood dripped from his chin. His hands shake, not with fear, but with 2 years of cage violence finally give him permission to escape. How long? He repeats, each word measured and cold. How long do I have to finish them? The stranger checks his watch, unable to hide his satisfaction. 3 minutes should be plenty. I only need 4 seconds. What happens next isn't a fight. It's an execution. It's poetry written in broken bones and shattered pride. It's everything Park has been holding back, compressing to 4 seconds of pure surgical violence. The bald thug doesn't even see the first punch. He just feels his consciousness flicker as his body learns how to fly. By the second, his friends understand they've made a terrible mistake. By the third, they're trying to run. By the fourth, they're learning that you can't outrun your past, especially when it's been starving for 2 years. When the dust settles, Park stands over them, breathing hard, something wild and alive burning in his eyes for the first time in years. The money still lies scattered on the ground, glowing like hope, like revenge, like redemption. The stranger applauds slowly. 4 seconds! You undersold yourself. He extends a hand. Juno O. Pleased to meet you properly, Mr. Park. I believe we're going to destroy some lives together. Park looks at the hand, at the money, at the 3 groaning bodies at his feet, at the chain that's bound him for 2 years finally snapping like thread. Where do we start? Juno's smile could cut diamond. Where else? We start by making everyone who ever put you on your knees remember why they used to fear your name. The monster opens its eyes. And somewhere across the city, in a pristine high-rise office, Chansu Kim has no idea that his perfect life is about to meet something hungry, funded, and absolutely done playing dead. The next day, Park walks into class with the swagger of a man who just unlocked unlimited funds. He kicks the door open and hears the Nexus fanboys threatening the class again. The bully, Mogul, is forcing everyone to buy his $300 product, which is probably just garbage in a box. Park and Junwoo are now linked by hatred. Junwoo's orders were clear. Clean the school of the minor trash first. Mogul checks his sales log and tells the students he's done being nice. His friends laugh like hyenas while the students tremble. Park strolls up to Mogul and asks the philosophical question, is money everything? He cocks his fist back, acknowledging that yes, money rules the world, and then he introduces Mogul's face to the concept of blunt force trauma. The whole class gasps. Park finally accepts that cash is king, but fists are the executioner. Mogul is having a midlife crisis on the floor. He remembers he used to be the apex predator until he met Park. When he saw Park fight, he knew he was outclassed by a wild beast. But then Park got sued into oblivion by Chun-Soo, and Mogul learned that a lawyer is stronger than a punch. He climbed the food chain using money, forcing classmates to buy his junk. He thought he had tamed the beast. But now, as he eats another knuckle sandwich, Mogul wonders why his money armor isn't working. He tries to block, but Park is dissecting him like a frog in biology class. Humiliated in front of his customers, Mogul gets slammed into the door. He tries to talk, sees Park's "I'm going to murder you" face, and realizes he needs a diaper change. Pathetically, Mogul screams for his friend to help, but his friend suddenly finds the floor pattern very interesting and ignores him. Desperate, Mogul pulls out his phone, waving it like a magic wand, reminding Park he's broke. Park ignores the financial advice and kicks him directly in the face. Mogul is in a world of pain, praying for survival. Somehow, adrenaline kicks in, he opens the door and books it. He tries to calm down and think rationally, but Park is stalking him with literal killing intent. Mogul knows he can't beat an athlete, so he remembers he has a mercenary. He bursts into the gym and begs Seong, the gym jock, to save him. Song Kyeong, the kind of guy who makes gym equipment look like toys. He doesn't even glance up when Mogul starts begging. Song, please, 2 million. I'll pay 2 million if you just make it 3. Song interrupts, still not looking up. College prep isn't cheap. Mogul's face floods with relief. Yes, 3. Just stop him, please. The weights clatter as Song finally stands. He's bigger than Park remembered. Wider. The kind of big that makes you reconsider your life choices. The kind of big that money absolutely can buy. Nothing personal, Song says, cracking his knuckles. But a man's gotta eat. Park reaches into his jacket. Song tenses, maybe expecting a weapon, maybe hoping for one to make this interesting. What emerges is a stack of bills that makes Song's eyes widen. Not the flinch of fear or the squint of rage, just pure, simple math happening behind those eyes. The kind of calculation that asks, how much is my integrity worth, and is it more than what's currently being waved in front of me? 4 million, Park says simply, to stay out of it. The silence stretches. Mogul's hope curdles into horror as Song looks at the money, then at Park, then back at the money. You know, I really shouldn't strain myself before exam season, Song says slowly. He sits back down, doesn't even flinch when Mogul starts screaming. Park drags the bully toward the window. The window opens with a shriek of old hinges. He lands in front of an old teacher who looks up like, "What in the raining men is this?" and starts screaming at Park. After school, they both get called in. The teacher's furious. He brings up what happened 2 years ago, makes it clear he won't stop the expulsion this time. Mogul sits there smug and confident. The teacher starts talking about Park's poor father. Park loses his patience and hits Mogul with a soul-crushing punch. The teacher tries to stop him, but Park keeps going. Mogul's learning his lesson the hard way. Then, a man enters. "Park, stop." The teacher's confused. "Who are you?" Byung-Gwan Kim, associate lawyer at KR. The teacher recognizes the name, but he's baffled. Why is the big shot lawyer here? Park asks Juno how he pulled it off. He remembers the principal basically licking boots after talking to the lawyer. The bully got expelled instantly. Juno laughs. Easy. The principal's been involved in some shady stuff lately, so Juno just used the evidence to shut him up. But he's not done with the principal yet. He's planning on sending Mogul to juvenile first, then throwing the principal behind bars. Nobody gets off the hook. Juno asks if Park's feeling lighter. Park's still not satisfied. Juno gets it. It's too early for thanks, but Juno's grateful. He thanks Park in advance. Mogul can't control his frustration. He's determined to take revenge on Park and end his life. Next day, he walks to a sketchy destination. A man peeks out. Who is it? Here to check the progress. Perfect timing, Jin Song's here. Mogul walks in and sees a few men beating the gym rat Song with bats. The leader, Jin Song Hang, lets him in. Song realizes Mogul's behind this. They shut his mouth and keep beating him. Jin Song orders his lackeys to take away the trashy gym rat since their client is here. Jin Song asks why Mogul came in person. Mogul reveals he has another request. Jin Song gets fired up. Mogul's willing to pay 10 million won. The yellow-haired lackey, surprised, tells his leader to accept and asks for details. Jin Song smashes the lackey's head with a bat, tells him to shut up. He knows Mogul's after a big fish. Mogul reveals he wants Hanjun Park dead. Jin Song gives him a cold stare. Leave. I'm not dumb enough to go after Park for 10 million. Mogul counters. 10 million up front, another 10 million once the job is done. Jin Song gets excited. Deal accept. Juno enters a house surrounded by tall buildings, covered in police tape. He announces his arrival, apologizes for not visiting often. He brought fried chicken, but it's so small. Suddenly he recalls his father's fried chicken, starts craving it. The last time he had his dad's amazing fried chicken was 2 years ago. Juno's expression changes. He becomes enraged, remembering everything like it was yesterday. He goes silent for a few seconds, then decides to leave. He announces he won't be able to visit soon because of his busy schedule. He's finally nearing his goal. Juno leaves. His lawyer's waiting. The guy shares that Mogul's making a move again, asks for instructions. Juno reminds him, I don't want to play fair anymore. The lawyer grins. He'll follow orders. That night, Park's dad gets a call from a big gym. He accepts the offer. Salary's amazing. He's going there tomorrow. As the call ends, Park's dad screams in excitement, shares the good news. He wonders how they got so lucky, thinks they might even get rich soon. Park gets up to leave. His father tells him to return on time. They're eating like kings for once. Park notices the genuine smile on his father's face. He feels happy. As he leaves, Park gets a call, learns Mogul's cooking something. Juno explains he hired some runaway students, but they won't be a big issue. Juno tells him to call if he's in trouble. Park says there's no need. Juno's confused. Park clarifies. The wannabe gangsters are already here. Who are they? Juno asks. Park notices a van approaching at full speed, ready to end his life. He instantly charges towards it, trying to save himself. Park hits the ground, gets a head injury. The thugs laugh at him, calling him a masochist. Jin Song is astonished, calls it smart as Park gets back up. Park becomes enraged, ready to end everyone. The men grab their weapons. Despite not fighting for ages, Jin Song realizes Park still has strength and agility. He thinks he can win since Park's injured. People in nearby apartments notice the noise. The thug smirks and orders his men into the van, hopes to see Park again. Leaves. Park doesn't let it slide. He starts charging towards the van at full speed. The thugs laugh, think he's crazy, but he proves him wrong by getting closer. They become terrified. Park jumps onto the van, breaks the mirror, grabs one of the lackeys, and lets the van leave. The others ask their boss if they should turn around. Jin-sung orders them to leave the guy behind, shocking everyone. The guy who fell off tries getting up. Park orders him to reveal where they're heading. The guy jokes around. Park destroys his face with a punch, gives him another chance. The lackey stays quiet. Park starts punching the crap out of him. Inside the sketchy building, the thugs celebrate their victory. Their leader tells them not to overdrink. Mogul stays silent, frustrated. He speaks up, calls everything bullshit. Doesn't understand why they're celebrating. Hopes they make his money worth it. Wonders what they'll do if Park finds their hideout. The leader gets it, but doubts Park will show up. He brings up a Korean saying about hunting bears. Breaks his glass, reminds Mogul they're dealing with a tiger. No such thing as a tiger hunting knife. Jin-sung grabs Mogul's face, scares him with the broken glass, doubts any knives would work. But he remembers their ancestors hunted tigers by unleashing multiple dogs. Tigers like their personal space, but the dogs torment the tiger until exhaustion catches up. Jin-sung plans on pulling the same trick. His men will destroy Park's peace, keep driving him crazy until he drops dead. Suddenly, someone almost breaks the door. The whole gang's terrified. They notice the iron door dent. Jin-sung orders a lackey to check. The guy feels annoyed, but as he peeks out, he finds Park standing outside with clear killing intent. They're shocked he found her hideout so quickly. The leader tells him to chill. Park can't break through an iron door. They assume he left after a few minutes. A lackey thinks Park's scared, but suddenly his expression changes. He sees an arm outside the balcony. Park jumps in, breaks the balcony window. The leader can't believe it. They're on the 3rd floor. Park wastes no time, starts beating the thugs one by one, overpowers the whole gang by himself, destroys a few men, turns back to teach the rest a lesson. Mogul becomes terrified, but observes Jin-sung keeping his composure. Mogul remembers the thugs took out Song with no effort, tries to assure himself, believes the leader's hiding some special moves or tactics, starts hoping the gang might beat Park. Jin-sung orders his men to attack. They charge in with weapons. Park remains unfazed, grabs one by the leg, slams him into the wall. Another tries attacking from behind. Park beats the crap out of him and pins him down. The yellow-haired lackey breaks a bat on Park's head, thinks he did damage. Park quickly proves him wrong by throwing him out the 3rd floor window. The pathetic weakling hits the ground. A biker girl appears, approaches the lackey. His consciousness fades, but the cute girl asks if Park's up there fighting. He happily says yes. Tries spouting more bullshit. She hits him with her helmet, leaves. The biker girl informs Junwoo about Park's situation. Junwoo sounds concerned. The girl ignores him, starts blabbering about cute purses she saw online. Demands money for further information. Junwoo's annoyed but sends cash. She gives him Park's location. Inside the apartment, Jin-sung comes face to face with Park. He's the only one left. Mogul lies on the side with a pathetic beat-up face. The leader admits they couldn't do shit against Park. Assumes he got spared because Park needs something from him. Park calls him wrong, tries choking him. I just wanted to save the worst one for last. Jin-sung realizes he's done for. Uses his bat. Gets slammed onto the ground. Park begins wrecking his face. A boy with tears in his eyes stopped Park. He begs, calls it unfair. Says he's already suffering enough, can't handle expenses as an orphan. Park hears his complaints. The orphan starts losing his mind. Questions what he did to deserve this. Junwoo finally appears, looks at the horrible mess Park made. The orphan asks who he is, starts trembling. Assumes Junwoo ordered Park to do this. Junwoo introduces himself, says he'll pay for the damage. The crybaby shuts up, demands 10 million won. Junwoo makes him happy, gives him 50 million instead. Jin-sung, in a pathetic state, calls Park a literal monster. No human can be this strong. Realizes he lost from the beginning. Makes a smart move. Tries saving himself by jumping off the building. Almost succeeds, but Park grabs his collar, tries pulling him up. Not done with the guy yet. Jin-sung knows he's getting killed if he doesn't escape. Pulls out his knife to scare Park. Park lets him go. The scumbag pathetically falls from the 3rd floor. Somehow manages to get up and run away despite severe injuries. Junwoo calls it a strong will to live. A beat-up lackey starts laughing, calls Park dumb, says he just got himself stuck in a huge mess, reminds them about Jin-sung's father, reveals a guy is a chairman of PJ, the shipping behemoth, believes his leader's father will make them vanish into thin air. Junwoo smiles wickedly. He just learned something very useful.